The third installment of a saga defined by unapologetic authenticity is not merely a continuation, but a coronation, demanding that you stop viewing success as a destination and start recognizing it as the relentless daily practice of honoring your truth when the industry demands you dilute it for mass consumption. In On Everything 3, Black Lavish delivers an urban fiction masterpiece that transforms the hustle narrative into a profound exploration of legacy building and spiritual sovereignty, proving that in landscapes shaped by systemic erasure, true wealth isn't found in accumulation, it's forged in the radical act of remaining whole when every metric demands you fragment yourself. This isn't merely another street-lit tale with flashy prose. It's a psychologically precise narrative where every business deal feels like both testament and test. Consent to rise is negotiated through community accountability rather than assumed individualism. And power means honoring the roots beneath the crown when culture demands you forget where you came from. From the first bass-heavy narration, listeners are immersed in a world where loyalty is currency and presence is the only unshakable asset. Perfect for fans of emotionally grounded urban fiction and stories where Black excellence defies monolithic expectations, this audiobook serves up atmospheric rhythm, relentless emotional honesty, and a protagonist whose journey from ambitious grinder to sovereign architect resonates with anyone who's ever been told their ambition was too loud for polite society. When entrepreneur Marcus Tharn returns to his hometown to expand his empire after national success, he expects triumphant homecoming, not to discover the neighborhood's evolution mirrors the exact suppression he's endured beneath years of performative achievement, and the community organizer Alara Vance's quiet skepticism bypasses his polished persona to create space for a connection that defies transactional dynamics. But as they navigate gentrification pressures and buried attractions, Marcus realizes this expansion isn't about growth, it's about integration. Lavish masterfully avoids reducing Marcus to arrogant mogul or Alara to righteous foil. Instead, she crafts a relationship rooted in radical reciprocity within constraint, where trust is earned through honoring boundaries even as desire blurs them, and where intimacy emerges from seeing each other beyond assigned roles. The audiobook narration amplifies this emotional alchemy, capturing Marcus's disciplined confidence softening into genuine receptivity, and Alara's guarded conviction revealing warmth beneath stoic vigilance. You don't just hear their bond deepen, you feel the seismic shift of two souls learning that some legacies can only be built when you stop letting profit define you. What elevates On Everything 3 beyond typical urban fiction fare is its nuanced portrayal of entrepreneurship as collaborative creation rather than romanticized domination. Marcus isn't merely scaling a business, he's confronting how hustle culture taught him to equate worth with productivity, challenging the notion that safety requires emotional detachment. Alara doesn't ground him through criticism, she creates sanctuary where his complexity can exist without diminishment, honoring his autonomy even as his own walls crumble. Their relationship evolves through acts of radical reciprocity, sharing silences during late-night strategy sessions that bypass performance, establishing rhythms that protect both economic integrity and emotional safety, and defending each other from investors who mistake evolution for betrayal. Supporting characters add vital texture, fellow entrepreneurs whose loyalty encodes suppressed grief, elders whose wisdom carries intergenerational weight, even the city itself rendered as living archive whose brick and mortar absorbs decades of unspoken bargains. Every interaction reinforces the novel's core truth. In economies built on extraction, tenderness is technique and presence is the only sustainable resource. Even the urban mechanics serve thematic depth, with contract negotiations mirroring emotional attunement and community investments becoming metaphors for earned trust. For audiobook listeners, this production is an immersive sensory descent into rhythmic intimacy. The narrator embodies Marcus and Alara with remarkable distinction. Marcus's voice carries smooth authority laced with dawning vulnerability, while Alara's tone trembled with suppressed tenderness beneath disciplined cadence, making their chemistry palpable even during conflict. Sound design enhances atmosphere without overwhelming immersion. Distant city hum marking temporal rhythm, rain against storefront windows during vulnerable confessions, the hushed rustle of documents syncing with breath during moments of clarity, all anchor existential stakes in tangible reality. Pacing mirrors the cadence of legacy building, deliberate during reflection and alliance olding, then surging with urgency as external pressures collide with internal awakenings. Whether you're commuting through urban chaos or sitting in twilight solitude, the audiobook creates a portable sanctuary where slowness feels sacred and connection feels a lifeline. It's storytelling as embodied validation, transforming passive listening into active participation, in a journey where success isn't found in exits but in restoration. Ultimately, On Everything 3 redefines urban fiction by centering Black epistemology within entrepreneurial frameworks. It satisfies genre cravings for satisfying progression and cathartic resolution, while delivering substantive commentary on generational wealth, masculine vulnerability, and the radical act of building partnerships based on mutual recognition rather than rescue. Prior series knowledge enriches context, but this volume stands confidently as a complete emotional odyssey for returning readers. If you've ever wondered whether success can coexist with soul, or if true strength requires embracing what others dismiss, this audiobook will affirm that sometimes the most powerful act
act is simply choosing to stay rooted. Press play, step into the rhythm, and prepare to believe that even in landscapes shaped by hustle, hearts still find ways to build. Your next favorite urban fiction isn't waiting in flawless empires. It's waiting in the brave, trembling choice to honor the whole truth.